Hey guys, I'm back with another action figure review, and today we're going to take a look at the DC Collectibles Batman Arkham Knight Nightwing figure. Figure I was pretty excited about as a Nightwing fan. I don't personally play the video games. My boyfriend Todd does, and I've watched him play some of them, and I just haven't tried myself yet. But I definitely wanted to get this figure as a Nightwing fan, and I really like the design in this game as opposed to the Arkham City game where I wasn't super in love with the design. So yeah, I'm really excited to be reviewing this figure finally. So I guess we'll take a quick look at the package. Now, this is a little off topic, but anybody watching this review, and can you just let me know in the comments below, do you care if I show the package in the reviews? Because I feel like it could kind of trim the fat a little bit if I decided not to show the package in reviews, because I don't show the figure in the package, and I'm really here to show you loose figures anyway, so let me know if you guys really like to see the package or not, because if you don't, I'm happy to cut it. It'll make my reviews just a little bit shorter and slicker, and it'll let me throw out packages a lot faster. So let me know. But for this one, I'll show you. This is the front of the package. The figure is obviously in there when you buy it. You have Nightwing on the side there. He's number 5 in the series, the first from the second wave. On the right, you have this. On the left, you have this cool like wireframe look at the character. Again, just DC Collectibles, Nightwing, Arkham Knight, blah blah blah. This side you just have the window, and then on the back you have the cool wireframe in the background, and then you have the figures in the wave. A really cool wave, all sculpted by Gentle Giant Studios, if you can see that down there. I really like this wave. I mean, Catwoman, whatever, but Robin looks really great. And Commissioner Gordon looks really great. And I've been saying to the guys in the Rogue show, like, Gordon's getting treated really well this year between this and the Capullo figure. 2 really great Gordon figures after a while of, like, people being like, I want a decent Gordon figure, so. Cool. Quick look at the package there. But we will get back to the figure now. Oop. And here we go. So, I usually jump into accessories first. So as you can see, he does have his Eskrima sticks. You can see, I'll take them out. I'll take one out of his hand here to show you. He comes with the full-size Eskrima sticks that look, okay, hold please, that look like this. They're just like a gunmetal in the center, and then black on the ends with the blue little detailing. So you have 2 of these, and then you also have the contracted, it's the opposite of expanded, right? The, like, smaller versions where, when they contract. Yeah, that's the word, right? So, it's just basically the ends, shrunken down, that he can, so you can store them a bit easier, and he can also throw these as, like, kind of like batarangs, but as, just sticks. So they have a little bit of blue in the center where they close. So these are really cool to have, like, both, but at the same time, it's kind of DC Collectibles saying, here's more accessories for you to lose, because there's absolutely nowhere on the figure to store them. As you can see, I had him pose kind of pulling it out of his back, but he has nowhere literally on his back to store them. No clip to put them in, no little, like, notch that you can, like, stick this in. I mean, unless I'm just completely missing it, which I really don't think I am, there's nowhere to store these. So that's a big disappointment, especially after the Arkham City figure had clips to put them in. Nothing on his legs either, but that's not where they go anyway, so, it should be on his back. It should be like a clip. Or they should give us, magnets or something, some way to store these, but they do not. So, cool, they give you both versions of the stick, but literally, it's going to go, like, in a box. He's going to maybe hold one of them, and then the others have to go away in a box because there's nowhere to store them. So, that's one strike. And let me just say up front, I don't think I did. This figure, I like it. But it does have its little downsides, and that is one of them. Another that's related to that was when I took him out of the box, I could not get his Eskrima sticks in his hands for anything. His hands were really, really hard plastic out of the box. So before this review, I actually just popped them into some boiling water, and now they have a little bit more flex in them, and I put the sticks in his hands as soon as I boiled them so that he would, like, have the right openness in his hand to hold them. So it's fixable, but, like, why, you know, out of the box he should be able to hold them and mine could not. I mean, maybe others don't have this problem, but yeah, I did. So look at some of the details. Now that we're done with the accessories. The face sculpt looks pretty close to the promo art that we were shown. Sorry, I'm just trying to lower my light a little. Looks pretty close to the promo art that we were shown, but he's a bit more pouty. I don't know why they wanted to make him so pouty, but it doesn't bother me too much. And he does have some kind of maybe 2 o'clock shadow going on. I don't know, they gave him like a very, very faint, like, scruffiness painted on there, and he doesn't have that in the game. He's clean shaven, so I'm not sure what made them want to give him that, but it honestly doesn't bother me too much. Yesterday when this figure came out, someone posted a picture on Facebook of him in the package, and it looks like it was really, really scruffy on the face, and I was like, what is that? But out of package, he really doesn't look that bad. So I personally, I'm fine with it. I think the face sculpt overall is a big upgrade from Arkham City. I never liked that face sculpt. I mean, you can go back and watch my review of the DC Collectibles figure, and nobody likes the Mattel version, so there's that. But I mean, just the rendering in the game itself, I didn't like Arkham City Nightwing's face. It just didn't feel like it looked like Nightwing to me. This one I think looks a lot better. And this particular sculpt by DC Collectibles is pretty darn close to the game. So I think this is much improved on that front. And then the suit itself is very different from the Arkham City as well. Arkham City was pretty close to, like, you know, a comic style blue and black suit, where it was basically just like a black suit, blue, you know, Nightwing logo. You know, it had some rivets and some, like, piping that maybe, you know, you don't see in a comic, but, like, it didn't look like really armored per se, even though I guess it kind of was. It didn't, like, look it. This one clearly looks like an armored suit. And it's funny that I actually like this design, because I typically don't like an armored design for Nightwing. I don't feel like he needs it. And it's also kind of funny because, like, this is kind of going in the same direction as the Arkham Knight Batman suit went, a more armored direction, and I don't like the Arkham Knight Batman suit at all. I thought it was a big step down from Arkham Origins, which I thought was an amazing design. So, anyway, I do like it, though. You know, maybe it's not... I wouldn't pick this for Dick in a comic, but I don't know, it's kind of cool in the game universe, and it's nice to get different looks. Like, if they, you know, if they just kind of gave us the same suit as Arkham City, it'd be like, okay, great, they're going to release another figure, great. Like, what would be the difference? It would be maybe a little more articulated. But this is like an overhaul, so it's worth having totally separate figures. And I'm going to compare the two, so you'll see how different they really look. It's pretty cool. But yeah, this one just has, like, a lot of details going on. There's just a lot of different panels. There's different... the base is basically black. I have to say, it's black. It's mixes of mattes and glossies, like matte, glossy, glossy, matte, glossy. There's, you know, there's silvers and gunmetal pieces throughout. He's got, like, armored knee pads and elbow pads that are silver, like a gunmetal silver. And then, you know, you have the blue logo that goes a little bit across the shoulders. He's got some blue detailing in the wrists and the shin armor, which is pretty cool. So it's nice to have little blue bits elsewhere. A little bit under the knee there. And then it's continued on the back here, and his Screamer sticks should go somewhere here as well, but, you know. He does also have a belt, but it's very slim. He's got like a little bit of a logo here, glossy black, and then he's got 1, 2, 3, 4 pockets, and like a little, I don't know what this is supposed to be really. It's kind of like a backwards buckle because it's in the back. But, and butt, there's his butt, yep. What? It's a Nightwing figure. So, yeah, pouches look nice, and they are rubbery, so that's cool. You can kind of like move them if you need to, which they don't get in the way anyway, so whatever. Yeah, you can see the glossy neck armor here on the front and the back. Just a lot of detail, so I'm just kind of like moving the figure around so you can see it. But he's got like buckles on the boots and whatever this is. Pretty cool. You know, I mean, and this can kind of split fans, and I'm surprised that I like it as much as I do, considering I don't generally like this look for Nightwing. So, yeah, I mean, everybody has their own feeling on it. But let me go through Articulation now, which is also very different from the Arkham City Nightwing from DC Collectibles, and even Mattel. So, let's take a look. The head is on a ball joint, and it can look down about that far. Unfortunately, it can't really look up. But it can look straight ahead, thank you very much, DC, because the Arkham City figure was stuck always looking, like, down, like, pretty much like this. Really annoying. So, maybe there's a way, if you pop it off, maybe there's a way to get him to look up a little more, but probably not, because it looks like it's just the hair hitting the back of his neck here that's causing that. So that's a little bit unfortunate, but, you know. He does have the ball-jointed shoulders. Go up. Straight out. He's got the, oh, they go around, obviously. He has the bicep swivel, and then he has double jointed elbows, which is really cool. So they can get, you know, all the way up to the shoulder blade there. It's great for, you know, that pose where he can, like, reach behind his back and grab his Eskrima stick. Unfortunately, you can only just make it look like he's doing that instead of having it attached to his actual back. But you get the idea. So, double elbow, very effective. Oily, I think. He has a wrist swivel and hinge that goes both ways, which is great. This is strike, what is this, strike 3 now? I mean, it's not literally strikes, but my negatives, my cons, my figure cons. This joint here at the center, he has a diaphragm joint, not really an ab crunch. It does swivel. So you can get him kind of twisted up there. But it has literally no movement forward and back. None. Zero, zip, nada. And he has a waist twist. So that's really frustrating. Like, you give us 2 ways to move him, you know, side to side, but 0 way to move him front and back. So that's really annoying because, like, if you're going to give us a waist twist, instead of giving us a diaphragm joint, why don't you give a legit ab crunch? Or just at least some movement in here. Like, that's just ridiculous. Nothing. So they could have just not put this joint in, this diaphragm joint at all. I mean, granted, it doesn't really break up the sculpt because of all the detailing, like, in the armor. It doesn't really make me go, like, ew, that figure's so ugly because of it. But, like, why would you put all that effort into, like, the separate pieces and the joints and everything for it not to do what we want it to do, you know? And it doesn't go, like, this way either. I don't know how to describe that. So that was really frustrating. I think that's all the negatives of the figure, though, so that's good, but let's move on. He's got the funnily enough, ball-jointed hips. Thankfully, they're not Y joints. They are still just, like, T joints, or just the ball joint that goes out. So we can go about that far. Pretty decent splits for a DC collectible figure. And they'll go forward, all the way. They go back till they hit his butt. And, you know, they go around and stuff. And then the top of the ball joint, you get a swivel in the thigh, which is great. You get a double jointed knee, which can bend as far as, you know, the calf will hit the thigh. So that's decent. Doesn't hit, like, he can't kick his own butt or anything, but better than a single. He has a boot swivel at the top of the boot here, which isn't broken up at all. which doesn't break up the sculpt at all, which is awesome. I know some people don't like those joints, but I think they can come in handy, even if it's just a little bit of a twist, and people say, like, oh, that's unnatural. I mean, it's not. It's not. People turn their leg at all different points, so I think it's fine. And anyway, and then he has the ankle hinge that goes forward and back, and you get the nice rocker, Hasbro style, so that's awesome. So he can do the splits and have his feet flat about that far, which he's gonna fall over though. If I could make him stand, that's what he would do. So, all in all, I do like this figure. It was a little disappointing to find those few little cons, the ab crunch especially, and then that he can't store his Eskrima sticks. Like, that's a bummer. But I mean, it's nice to have them, and I will, you know, I have my little accessory box that I'll put them in, and thankfully I can easily put them in his hands now that I've boiled them, though I don't think you should have to do that to your figure. It worked, so ultimately, I do like the figure. Could they have made it better? Yes. Can they make any figure better? Pretty much always. So, it's not, dog vomit or whatever, but, you know, it wasn't like, this obviously isn't a glowing review. This is a long review, though, so I gotta shut up now. So, yeah. Oh, I didn't do the comparison. Wow, it's gonna get longer. Sorry, guys. Arkham City Nightwing from DC Collectibles and the Arkham Knight Nightwing from DC Collectibles. Side by side. Arkham Knight is tall. Oh, I think this DC Collectibles line was a little bit shorter because they had worked with Mattel to make sure that their figures could be in scale with each other at that time. So you could mix and match the Arkham City figures from both companies. The Mattel figures were taller than usual, and I guess the DC Collectibles figures were slightly shorter than usual. And for fun, let's just throw in the Mattel version as well, which doesn't have the original head, but yeah, so these are about the same height. Actually, the Mattel is taller, so that's weird. But, yeah. Really funny to kind of look at them all together, which I'm doing and you're not because the camera doesn't fit all three. My bad. Sorry. Sorry. So, yes. Probably should put this guy in front because he's the one being reviewed. I'm sorry, guys. Real professional, Olivia. This Arkham City one doesn't have any ankle hinge at all, so he's a little difficult sometimes. But yeah. So, Arkham City from DC Collectibles, Arkham City from Mattel with my custom head on it, so don't worry about that. And then Arkham Knight from DC Collectibles. Yeah. I definitely like this one the best, and for, you know, just the design and the added articulation's nice. I do appreciate the Arkham City design in its own way, though, because it is more similar to the comics, and I love how the arms, you know, you get the stripe all the way down the arms to the fingers. It's just simpler, cool design. I love the color on this blue, though. I wish that they did have more of it on the arms, because it's really nice. But yeah, it should be, you know, solid comparison, I'd say, but let me just show you the face sculpts and why I really like the Arkham Knight one versus the Arkham City one, because I always disliked this look for him. I don't know why. I think it just looks so weird. So this is the Arkham City Nightwing. I just don't know. I don't like the hair. I don't like the pointy chin. I just think he looks really weird. Sorry, I'm just making him like sit. I think this one just looks more like Nightwing, more like I would expect him to look. It looks like a man. He looks like a man. He looks manly. His eyes aren't crossed, which I just noticed. He's got a chin, like a nice jawline. Like, I don't know. It just looks better. So I really like this improved design from. It's really Rockstar that did it, and then, you know, whoever designs character designs, and then DC Collectibles did a good job interpreting it, so yes. No likey head. Likey head. Even with the weird 5 o'clock shadow. 2 o'clock shadow, really. It's not that dark. But yes. So, yay! I remembered. Okay, I would have been really mad at myself if I ever got to do that comparison. But yes, this has been my review of the DC Collectibles Arkham Knight Nightwing figure, just released, and I do really like it. You just watched this whole review, so you know how I feel. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll be back with another review soon.